Hey guys, so today I decided I was finally going to get this video up for you. It's not a trending topic or it's not like of the latest product, but it is a very informative video and it was really fun for me to test out and really get down with these powders and see how they work and how you can use them. So in today's video, we are going to talk about what loose powders work for baking your face. And I know that that's not like super relevant right now, but I did get a question in like my old video about, I don't know, I shared this CoverGirl powder in it and somebody asked me if I could do a video on that one. So instead of talking about just one powder, I was like, that is a great idea for me to do a loose powder type of video and comparing these three products. And I'm also going to be showing you pictures with and without flash. I mean, I just really wanted to get into detail about what works, because the worst thing that can happen is that you go out after you bake your face, you know, you look all nice and pretty and ready for the party, and then it gets late and people start using flash on their phones and you look like a ghost. All three of these are good for setting your powder and I use them at different times and it just depends. The first one being the NYC Smooth Skin. This has been a favorite of mine for a really long time. I've had it for almost a year and I have used this one for baking, to set my concealer, to set my whole face, and also to clean up this area right here when you contour or use a bronzer. So what I did with this one was I applied my concealer, I blended it out with my beauty blender the way I always do it, and then whenever I set this powder, I picked it up with the beauty blender, which is a damp beauty blender. I pressed it on and then I just let it sit there for a few minutes. Sometimes I leave it on longer than other times, but honestly it pretty much always looks almost the same. I don't see a big difference with waiting a longer time, but I don't know, that's just me, at least not with this powder. And so this one really does show up white when you first apply it. I mean, it is white. So whenever you take a picture without using flash, this is a good one for like daytime. It's really good for that. It looks really smooth, it looks really nice and even, and it doesn't crease. It's really thin, like really fine. So it works for setting your under eyes, and that's what you want whenever you're looking for a setting powder. So I tried it with the flash, which I had never tried it with the flash, I don't think, not like this at least. And I took the picture and you can see right there the before and after, the before flash and then with flash. That the one that is with before, it looks really nice and natural. It's not white at all. It's really just like a setting powder. It looks perfectly normal and natural. And then on the with flash part, you can tell where I highlighted with concealer and where I set it with, but it doesn't look unnatural. Like, it just looks like you highlighted with it and you set your highlight, but it doesn't look like it's like flashing back, like it's reflecting back. So not only has this one been a favorite of mine for a long time, but I'm glad that it works out for both. So if you're looking for one that looks really natural in daytime as well as nighttime with flash, this is a good setting powder for that. And this one's NYC. It's really affordable. You can find this one everywhere. I think I got this one at Walmart, but you can find it everywhere. Okay, and the next one is by CoverGirl. Now I have it in the color Translucent Fair. This one actually looks the best in the pictures. Right here you see the before and after, the before without flash and then the after with the flash. And before, it just looks really natural, looks really nice, but it's not white at all. It just looks like my skin tone. So it's more of a natural color. And then whenever you take a picture with flash, it looks exactly the same. It looks nice and even. You can kind of tell where you highlighted, especially if you use like a really light concealer, but it's not obvious. So I really like that one. So this one, if you don't want to be able to notice where you highlighted at all, but you just want to really bake your face and make sure that everything is set and is going to stay there, I think Translucent Fair is a really good one for that. And even if you don't have my skin tone, maybe it's a little bit deeper, a little bit lighter, I still think it looks pretty natural because it's not technically my exact skin tone. It's lighter than my skin tone, but it doesn't look white like these other two. Okay, and then the last one, which is the newest one that I have out of the three. This one is really nice for daytime, but don't take flash picture with it. In the daytime, you can see right there that it looks really nice. It looks even. It sets your makeup. This one looks really nice in just regular daylight, just inside, outdoors. It looks really nice. But once you take a picture, you can for sure tell the triangle that you do, or wherever you set it, you can tell where it's at. You can tell in the middle of my forehead there and also on my chin. Like, you can really see this powder that it just like reflects with the light. So I wouldn't recommend this one at all for flash, but it looks really, really nice in just like regular daylight, and it looks like it blurs out. So it's one of those blurry ones. It kind of reminds me of the, if you've ever tried that one, the Makeup Forever HD. So those HD powders are not good for flash at all, and this one reminds me of that. Like the way that it feels, everything about it, it just reminds me exactly like that one. And I actually got rid of that one because it does that. It reflects. Even whenever I used to have the ring light, it would just reflect so much that it would make me look really, really white. So this one doesn't do that as much because it's not an HD one, but it does it only at night. Not at night, but whenever it's dark and you use flash. So there you can see the difference in the pictures of the way that it looks. It just looks unnatural. It looks like you have a lot of makeup on, and it looks like you really set it with the white powder. So those were the 3 loose powders that I wanted to show you, and just show you the difference it makes whenever you set your powder or you bake your, you set your concealer or your foundation, or you bake your concealer or you bake your whole face. Some people do that too. So that is the difference in a powder. If you ever want to just know, take a picture with and without flash, and that way you see if it's okay for you to wear maybe to a wedding or to a party or anything that's indoors that you know for sure they're going to use flash. Because I love all 3 of these just for different times. As you can tell, some work for everything and some just only work in the daytime. Are there any powders that you have ever used that made you look super white, or that you didn't know and then you took a picture with it with flash and it was like really bad, like really, really pale? Let me know below if you have a favorite powder or a powder that's done that to you. That way we can all know which ones not to get or which ones not to use for like special occasions. So that is it for today's video. Hopefully you found it useful, and I will see you all on my next one. Bye.